Now, what triggered this combative exchange was Patrick's assault on the rationality of professional development. He had casually informed me that, while he has learned a lot from prior episodes of the Construction Leadership Podcast, certainly including the one that he was on, he refused to listen to any more because, and I quote, "You make too many of them. I can't keep up."
Put that coffee down.
Creators are leaders. Be careful what kind of leaders you're producing here.
Helen, we're both in sales. Let me tell you why I suck as a salesman.
They realized that to be in power, you didn't need guns or money or even numbers. You just needed the will to do what the other guy wouldn't.
I'm not leaving. The show goes on.
Well, hello there, friend. My name is Bradley Hartman. Welcome to the Construction Leadership Podcast, where we deliver ideas and insights from leaders across the construction industry every week to help you lead more effectively. This episode is brought to you by Capital One Trade Credit. If you, my friend, are interested in growing your top-line revenue while decreasing risk, while increasing cash flow, that's right. All those three things can happen at the same time. You, my friend, will be interested in Capital One Trade Credit. They have a customized digital platform that makes it easier for your customers to buy from you. Check out Capital One Trade Credit. This episode is titled Unlearning the Alcatraz Rule to Grow Faster, More Enjoyably. You know how much I respect your intellect, Patrick. I began very cautiously. But that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard you say. Sometimes, I've learned, you have to be brutally candid with people you care for in order to get their attention. I said, it's like you're following the Alcatraz Rule when, in reality, you're in line at the Golden Corral buffet. Patrick, a vice president at a $1 billion heavy highway construction firm, took a deep breath and then tilted his head 20 degrees to the right. He had not anticipated the references to prisons or the mass production of food. He regrouped. First of all, Hartman, it's not dumb at all. It's about work ethic and discipline and grit, he said. Second, how or why you made Alcatraz or buffets elements of the discussion here are absolutely baffling to me. Now, what triggered this combative exchange was Patrick's assault on the rationality of professional development. He had casually informed me that, while he has learned a lot from prior episodes of the Construction Leadership Podcast, certainly including the one that he was on, he refused to listen to any more because, and I quote, "You make too many of them. I can't keep up." He then compared his not listening to our podcast to not quitting books he had started, yet no longer enjoyed. Patrick began a third-person cross-examination. Does this mean I miss out on some episodes I would like to listen to? Yes, Patrick said with an odd sense of confidence. Does this mean I read fewer books than I'd like to because I'm stuck on one I hate? Yes. Now, this thinking doesn't offend me as a hard-working podcast host. Okay, maybe it does just a little. This thinking offends me as a friend of someone smart who is behaving dumb. This thinking is dumb because it's self-limiting and irrational. It is also not uncommon. It was not that long ago that I shared the same mindset. It was the misapplication of the Alcatraz Rule. Jimmy Hall is a former educator and championship-winning coach. He won a football championship in 2003 and 2004 and a baseball championship in 2005 at Lockport High School in Illinois. And it was Coach Hall who taught me the Alcatraz Rule. The Alcatraz Rule generally applied to food consumption in a team or family setting. Take all you want, eat all you take. That was it. That was the Alcatraz Rule. Take all you want, eat all you take. Inmates at the Island Prison Dining Hall faced harsh discipline, I was led to assume, when they failed to join the Clean Plate Club. Coach Hall was not the type of guy you questioned. And when he invoked Alcatraz, I immediately removed at least 1,000 calories from my plate. 3 decades after Coach Hall's reminders, it appeared to me that Patrick was inappropriately applying the Alcatraz Rule to his knowledge consumption. My strong belief and vehement argument went something like this. Patrick should apply the most gluttonous form of knowledge tasting, sampling and then devouring or discarding without prejudice or guilt to his professional development, like he was dining alone at the world's largest Golden Corral buffet, which, to no one's surprise, is in Branson, Missouri. Does that look remotely interesting? Go for it. Toss it on your plate. Start a book and then realize you don't like it at all? Chuck it. Move on. Who cares? Find your mind drifting 5 minutes into a podcast? Skip it. There's plenty more. The constraints pertaining to food consumption that make the Alcatraz Rule so useful, that would be cubic inches of your gastrointestinal tract, heart disease, waste, and general thoughtfulness of others, these were meaningless when applied to knowledge consumption. There's an infinite number of things Patrick could learn in books or podcasts to help him reach his goals, but there remained a definitely finite amount of time to learn them. It's not about work ethic or discipline or grit. Quitters never win, eh? Sure they do. Quitters win every time they stop doing stupid stuff. Professional growth and learning should be exciting and fun and rewarding. If it's drudgery and it's boring and you dislike it, you're doing it wrong. Life is too short not to achieve your goals, let alone to suffer needlessly under some weird, intrinsic, and puritanical mandate to clean your plate at every meal of knowledge. I want you to forget, take all you want, eat all you take. You're not in Alcatraz, at least not anymore. Join me in line over here at the Golden Corral buffet. Take all you want. Sample as much as you can, devour what gives you insight and joy, and discard the rest. And needless to say, you should absolutely consider the Construction Leadership Podcast, sponsored by the fine folks at Capital One Trade Credit, an integral part of your diet. It's good for you. Really, really good for you. As always, friends, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this and think you might like this in a digital print format, that would be in our newsletter, go to bradleyhartmanandco.com, scroll to the bottom of literally any page at all, and you can sign up for our newsletter. It comes out every other week. I was quite serious about thanking our sponsor, Capital One Trade Credit. If you're interested in growing revenue while decreasing risk, check out Capital One Trade Credit. And with that, my friends, we will close out with our leadership mantra. You, my friend, are owed nothing. Deliver value first.